Hi everyone, I'm Nikki and we're here with another Ample People video with Blair. Hi Blair.
Hey Nikki, how you doing?
Good, thank you. I have a first question for you. So where are you based?
I'm based in Brooklyn, New York.
Awesome. So would you like to give us a little intro to you and tell us how you got involved with Ampled?
Yeah, so as you mentioned, my name is Blair Gardner. I have been in New York City for about 12 years now, working on lots of different projects. And the way that I kind of got involved with Ampled was through Austin Roby, the co-founder. He and I have been friends for, I think, going on about 25 years now. We met in second grade down in San Antonio, Texas, and we've been, best friends ever since. We've been in a band together that, admittedly wasn't very good a long time ago. And we had run a couple of different companies and business schemes together. We did a 3D printing company and like kind of digital fabrication. And so we've worked together on quite a few things over the years. And he pitched me Ampled kind of when he was first ideating the concept. And I thought it sounded super interesting, kind of like a platform that can be more owned and driven by the users, in this case, musicians and their fans and supporters, versus kind of some of the existing models out there, which are more about extracting profits or growing to a behemoth size in a certain amount of time to pay back investors, that kind of thing, which can really hamper, I think, the growth of a company, the trajectory, and kind of the culture. So when he pitched Ampled as an alternative to some of the traditional kind of models of how you build a platform in a community, I was super interested and basically told him, like, how can I help? So pretty much since the very early days with Austin and Colin, the other co-founder, I've been trying to lean in and help out wherever kind of it made the most sense.
Awesome. And what sort of things have you been working on since you started?
Yeah, all over the place, really. Like, my training is in kind of the marketing and technology world. That's kind of what I do for my day job. So I try to help out there wherever possible in terms of analytics, or how do we get the Ampled message out there to the right people specifically, in kind of like, cost-effective way and a way that really represents the Ampled mission and values. So that kind of marketing and technology stuff, how do we build out our different web and technology stacks? But also kind of some general stuff, like, since I've been Austin's kind of friend and business partner for so long, we like to talk about high-level strategy. Like, what is Ampled? Like, how should it change over time? Like, how can we best serve the mission of Ampled by implementing different kinds of policies or features and tools? And it hasn't always been easy, right? Like, Ampled is kind of a new concept for a lot of people. Like, how can we have a self-run, self-governing entity that is not necessarily trying to generate profit, but trying to give back to the community? How can we fund that? Like, how can we actually give governance and give decision-making power back to the community in a way that makes sense and is scalable and efficient? So tackling some of those kind of high-level strategic questions with Austin has been a really interesting part of some of my involvement in Ampled. But also kind of on the funding side, how can we make sure that we have money to keep the lights on, and things like that. The other thing I would say I've kind of been trying to help with is some of our forward-looking experiments and projects. We've been kind of trying to dip our toe in the water, especially around governance and ownership, of how we might leverage some emerging technologies in either the cryptocurrency blockchain space to do some interesting things with Ampled. So we're kind of on the lookout for what are these kind of new, maybe cutting edge technologies that could enable the Ampled mission more, and if they might potentially add value or work for us, how can we educate people within the Ampled community or more broadly about how they might work and how they could get involved. So doing some of that kind of forward-looking thinking and experimentation as well. So all over the place, really.
Yeah, tons of stuff. That all sounds really awesome. A slightly more random question, but if you could grab your favorite item in your room and tell us why.
Yeah, absolutely. So I was thinking about what that might be. There's a lot of weird stuff in my room. I just moved in a while ago, so it's also a bit messy. Apologies for that. But the thing that I kind of landed on, and I'll kind of hold it up for the camera if you can see it. It's a silver dollar from 1889 that my great grandmother kind of passed down to my grandmother and my mother, and my mom just gave this to me about a year ago. And it's really special to me because I think it kind of represents the history of kind of like my family and these objects that we choose to hold on to that have kind of maybe some monetary value, but more than that, I don't know, kind of a sentimental value in its history and where it's come from. And I just love having it close and on my desk because it's got this weight to it too that I think current coins don't really have. So it's like also a reminder of how things and objects were crafted in a different time. You know, if you hold a quarter now, it's like there's no precious metal in it or anything like that. It's kind of like a different idea how the monetary system changes over time. So I think there's a lot of symbolism in it, but mostly it's kind of just an emotional heirloom, I think, as well. So
Awesome.
yeah.
Okay, well, that's it. Thank you so much for telling us a little bit more about you, and everyone else, stay tuned. We'll be back with another video soon.
Great. Thanks, Nikki.